Hi, this is Matthew May with QuickRegisterSEO.com, and today I'm going to talk about how to make $10,000 per month working your butt off doing local SEO. Now, before I go into detail here, there are a few caveats, and they are right here. What I'm talking about here is not a get-rich-quick scheme. Selling SEO services is not really for the faint of heart. If you're looking for some system where you don't have to talk to anyone, you don't have to sell, you don't have to give customer service, some automated income type of deal where you just push a button and money comes flowing out of the internet, this ain't it. This you can make money. I know because I am making money doing this right now. So I'm doing this. But there are a few things that you have to be willing to do. You must be willing to sell. Yes, sell. You have to be a salesperson. Okay, half the room just left. You must be willing to talk to your customers. Another 25% of the room just left. You must be willing to work hard because SEO can be long and tedious work. You must be willing to learn new skills, and some are somewhat technical. You don't have to be a programmer. It doesn't go to that level, but it's doable. But you have to be willing to learn new skills, and you can learn it. Anybody of reasonable intelligence can learn these skills. It's not rocket scientist, even though there are SEO geeks who will try to tell you it is. You can learn it. There's stuff to learn, but you can learn it. You must be patient and think long term. The exact opposite of get rich quick, right? This is going to take some time. Yeah, because it's real. That's why. This is real. The stuff that's fake actually takes longer time because you do it, it fails. Then you try the next one, you do it, and it fails. Pretty soon that get rich quick scheme is a get broke long scheme. So doing this requires some patience because SEO takes time. And if you have customers that you're selling SEO services to, you've got to sell them on that too. All right. It's going to take time. Constantly say this is a long-term strategy. You know, if you just have 1 month, it's not enough. We've got to do this for a year or more. You must be willing to learn from your mistakes. There is no real guidebook on SEO. There's tons of information, but most of it is just stuff that you observe that either works or doesn't, because things are constantly changing in this world. Google doesn't give you much of a manual, say do this and this. They give you a basic guideline, create quality content, and they have some basic guidelines, and those are great to follow, but they're not going to tell you every little trick in the book. You learn by trying things, seeing what works. Look what other people are doing, seeing what works. So you have to be willing to improvise a little bit and be willing to adapt to your environment. You need a little chutzpah. You know, if you wait for everything to line up perfectly, you'll never get started with this. You got to dive in, and sometimes you got to fake it till you make it. And if you just keep going and learning and studying, all the information is out there. You can learn to do this, and it does work, and you can provide a great service for your customers too. You can over-deliver sometimes to accommodate for any mistakes you might make. Say if you do a video and it's not the greatest, you could do another one. You could do another 5 that are the greatest. So nothing is fatal here in this. Now, if any of this scares you or offends you, you can stop listening now because this is not for you. This opportunity is for people who are really motivated, who are serious, and who want to get after it and make money. And there is a huge opportunity here. Now, what I'm talking about is selling local SEO services. There are a ton of businesses out there that make money, that can make, $1,000 a sale, $10,000 a sale, that just don't have the time or inclination to get their business out there online. There are local businesses like personal injury attorneys. That's kind of one of the most obvious examples because you see their ads everywhere. They pay a ton of money for advertising because they get one client. They can pay, $10,000 to $100,000 or more if they just get one good case. So they spend a lot of money on advertising. And if you could convince people like that, and that's not the only niche, there's other types of attorneys too who are looking for clients. Debt attorneys, divorce attorneys, all kinds of other attorneys that are looking to get more customers, and they can make good money every time that they get a customer. So they're willing to spend the money on advertising. They're not selling little $25 products, right? They're making $10,000, even up to $100,000 per client. So to spend, $12,000 in a year for you is not that much of a stretch. And these guys just don't have time to get their business out there and work on the SEO and get that presence online, because it does take a lot of work. Some of these personal injury attorneys I've talked to them are paying like $200 per click with Google AdWords. And they even tell me that the leads aren't that good. So that means, like, say I go search for a personal injury attorney. Say I type in personal injury attorney Miami, Florida. You see where it says ad here? And I click on, I'm not going to click on it. If I click on his ad, I just click on it. And I'm not interested in a personal injury attorney in Miami. So I'm not going to click on it. I'm not that cruel. It's going to cost the guy probably $200 or something like that just for clicking on it. Yet they're willing to put these advertisements out there. This guy advertises like crazy. And now, however, if you can get your client listed here in the natural listings that Google finds using SEO, or here, which they all should have, a Google My Business page, every time I click here, it costs nothing. So this is golden here. So if you can convince your client that you could start getting them listed in listings like this, or in the video listings, lots of people look at the video listings, or on YouTube or on Bing, where people are just searching naturally here for videos on the subject, and they start getting calls, they're willing to pay you big money because they're tired of paying Google $200 just for someone to click, and they don't know what else to do, basically. They're personal injury attorneys. And I'm just using this as one niche. That's a very highly competitive niche in every way. But there are other ones that might even be easier. But they're tired of paying that $200. So there's a market there. There are lots of other niches like that. You don't have to stick with personal injury attorneys, which everyone seems to go for. There's luxury home builders, chiropractors, cosmetic dentists, plastic surgeons, high-end home renovations, all the legal and medical professionals. Look and see who's advertising around heavily, a local business. And these are probably people who make, $1,000 to $100,000 per customer. So they'll pay you. It's not a big stretch to pay you $1,000 a month. All right. Say take a plastic surgeon. They charge, what a breast implant surgery costs in the United States, $5,000, $10,000 per surgery. So they pay you $1,000 a month for a year, and they get one or two clients. They're pretty much earning their money back. So you can see that's where the market is. So you need to be able to provide these services and find customers and convince them that you can help them. And the thing is, you can learn this. Even if you're not an SEO expert, say you're an online marketer, you're trying to make money from your different websites, you can learn SEO and provide these services for people, because a lot of it is just good old-fashioned grunt work. And I think the first step to do is to come up with a package that you can sell. There's unlimited packages that you can come up with. SEO experts will come with all kinds of packages you can come up with, but it's good to come up with a basic, simple package that you can pitch to your potential client. And I've set up some examples of things that I really think that work well for local SEO. And when I'm talking about local SEO, I'm talking about search engine optimization. I'm talking about getting people listed in the natural listings, not the paid listings, but the natural listings like I showed you with a personal injury attorney, so that when people click on it, when a potential prospect clicks on it, the customer is not paying ridiculous pay-per-click fees. Plus, you have a tremendous amount of credibility being in the natural listings. That means, Google has found favor with your website. But here are some things that I think are essential for a basic local SEO package that you could pitch to your potential prospect, your personal injury attorney, your plastic surgeon, your chiropractor, etc. And don't just stick to those niches. There are many, many others. I'll show you another one here too. So setup of my Google business page, setup of a keyword optimized YouTube account and branded, setup of a branded keyword optimized social media accounts, creation of branded keyword optimized blog. And then, so this is the first things you have to set up, and I'll explain that to you in a second, which each one is. And then you have your recurring package. You want them to pay you each month, and plus they're not going to get results unless you're working for them each month. So this is what we propose to do for them. We're going to create 3 original videos. Again, if you want to do more, you can charge more. But this is just a basic package to get started. You got to get started somewhere. Creation of 3 original videos, keyword optimized, each month. Submission of business listings to local directories. 20 local directories a month. Creation of 3 original blog posts per month. And submission of each keyword optimized video to 40 video hosting and social media sites. I put a sample price here at $5.50 per month. Actually, that's a lot of work, and that's a pretty good deal. You might want to charge more. Once you get going doing it, you'll say, wow, that's a lot of work. It is a lot of work. I told you you have to work your butt off, but it's all doable. All right. So the most important thing to do for your customers is to get them in the Google My Business page. They've changed the name of that after a while. Here's a sample of one of my customers. He does mold testing. You'd never think about it. The guy does great. He charges from $500, sometimes on big projects, up to $75,000 a project for mold asbestos testing. I would have never known that existed. Okay. But I got him listed in the Google My Business page. So if you type in mold testing Rockville, Maryland, you're going to see my customer. If you're Rockville, Maryland, this guy's the greatest guy. I highly recommend you use him for any home inspections. Honestly, the guy's a great guy. All right. So, what happens is you can apply online for this, and the customer is going to receive a postcard. They want to make sure that you have a real location. So they're going to receive a postcard with a code on it, and the customer can give you the code and you can activate it. Again, what I'm doing here is just a basic overview. I could do a whole video on just Google My Business. All right. I could do a whole video on every single separate thing. I'm going to give you a basic overview, and then I've got links to articles which teach you how to do all this in depth. Then it's up to you to learn. Like I said, you're going to have to learn new skills. You're going to have to learn how to set up a Google My Business page. It's not hard. It's not hard. It's not computer programming. It's filling out information and optimizing things. And I have a whole tutorial here, video that you could watch that goes into detail about the whole thing. But this is just an overview, all right, to give you the idea. And it's up to you to go and learn these skills in detail. And I've given you resources to do that on this blog post, which I will put in a link to in the description. So Google My Business, really important because it's found first when people search for local businesses, and they get this really prominent listing with the Google Maps and everything. Your customer has to be there. Okay, here I just typed in mold testing, asbestos, Maryland. What do we got? Here's my customer right here. And look where this is for a local business. If you're a local business, you want to be here. It's the first thing people are going to see. Plus, they can come check out your reviews. If your customer doesn't have this Google My Business page, he's at a big disadvantage. He's got to have this set up and optimized with blog posts, images, videos. You see here, I've got images here for him. You see here, we've got his phone number, we've got his hours, we've got his reviews, we can get directions to him. This is #1 for local businesses. So, and he didn't have this set up. So we set this up for him. Next, I really suggest you set up a keyword optimized and branded YouTube account for the customer. Google loves YouTube. It owns YouTube. YouTube is the #2 search engine in the world after Google, above Bing and Yahoo. And if you get listed in Google and in YouTube, you're going to get listed on Bing and Yahoo as well. And when you set up the account, it's good to set up a YouTube account which is themed for your customer. For example, my customer is just about mold testing and home inspections and asbestos testing. I'm not putting videos about gaming on there. They have nothing to do with each other. And actually, you could even lose your YouTube account by just putting videos that have nothing to do with each other on it. So you'll get more favor in the search engine rankings if you have a dedicated channel branded to your customer, all on one theme. Here's the channel I set up for the customer. This is not a niche that's going to get tons of views. It's not like I'm putting cat videos up here, but it doesn't matter. It still gets found. Search engine, he gets 1 or 2 calls from this. It is so worth it for him because he can make $500 up to $75,000 per gig. So it's pretty good. And not everyone is looking for mold testing. So they're not going to get the same type of views as, social commentary videos, other types of videos, but this is way more profitable than those other niches. So views itself are not the whole story. It's how profitable is that niche. So here we go. I hired a graphic artist to come up with a branded theme here, images. I've got all his links here. This takes work. I've got a link in the blog post below how to go in depth on branding your YouTube channel. There's lots of things you can do. And I've got a whole separate article, a link to that article in the blog post below, so you can check it out. But just some things. Notice I'm putting a lot of his phone number up here so people can call him right away. Also, say for example, if I'm going for a local market, I created a playlist for him. You might look that up, playlist, where I have a number of videos all on the theme asbestos testing Alexandria, Virginia. And because my client told me that Alexandria, Virginia is an upscale place, we wanted to target that, and he wanted to be the top guy for asbestos testing in Alexandria, Virginia, because Alexandria, Virginia is a really good location. There's a lot of upscale places, and asbestos testing is very profitable. So let's see what happens if I go to asbestos testing Alexandria, Virginia, in the number 2 search engine in the world, YouTube. So I click that in. What do I get? Everything is him. The first 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 videos. Okay, his whole channel there. He's rocking and rolling on YouTube for this. He gets 1 call, 1 gig out of this. With money, I'm just getting going with him. Let's see how we're doing with Google. It's harder to get listed in Google. I go to Google video search, and here we're number 2. We're here, we're definitely up and coming in that, and I'm still working on it. So we're just getting going, but it's getting more and more each month. There are a lot of other video hosting and social media accounts that you can set up. I like to set up about 40 different video hosting accounts for my customer, and each one of them are themed to the customer. I've got their pictures on them. I choose a username that is around their brand, and then I just upload the same themed content over and over to those 40 different channels. You can look here. I typed my customer's username and brand into Google, and you can see, I've got things on the site called Medium. I embedded a YouTube video there. Lots of those. That seems to be ranking real well. Daily Motion ranks really well. We can go on and on. Here's a blog I set up around their theme. We got it here on Reddit. It's all about the customer. We've got another submission on a blog, more on Daily Motion. Another blog post on another platform. And it goes on and on, because I'm submitting these guys to 40 different video hosting and blogging platforms, social media sites, and it goes on and on and on and on, which gives my customer lots of exposure. Now, all this is very tedious work. I've got a gig here on Fiverr. There's a guy who'll do it for you for about $10, which is definitely worth it. All right, so we've got our branded social media accounts and video hosting accounts. And another thing you really want to do is create a blog. You can create a blog on WordPress.com, but I suggest buying a domain name which is themed around the customer's brand and consistently uploading content. Here's the blog that I created for my customer right here. I create original blog posts. I'll get to that in a second. I have images here. I have all kinds of different articles here, all on asbestos testing and on mold testing. I'll give you some ideas on how to come up with content as well. But I reserved the domain moldtesting-pros.com. Actually, I created a directory of mold testing professionals. And once I totally nail it with this customer, and I can show how I'm just owning these local areas for the mold testing niche, I'm going to go to mold testers all over the United States and pitch them. And so that's another thing you can do. Once you get one customer in one niche and you do a fantastic job for them, You can go to other cities and locales and say, hey, listen, I got this personal injury attorney. I'm killing it over here in Fort Lauderdale, and you're in St. Louis. I could do the same thing for you, and I know your industry. And so, hey, it's going to cost you $2,000 a month, but this is what I'm going to do for you. Look, I already did it. So that's a very strong pitch. So at first, I suggest just take any job you can get. But then if you want to develop a niche, that's a more long-term strategy. It could be a good one. So you need to be able to set up a blog for your customer and embed the videos and come up with the articles on the blog. With original blog posts, always unique content, and embed the YouTube videos on the blog, because the more embeds you get, the higher your YouTube videos rank. And a lot of times YouTube will rank videos better if they're embedded into high quality content around that theme. And everything we're doing is white hat, folks. Forget the black hat stuff. It will work for like 5 minutes. You're not going to outbeat Google. You want consistent, long-term, high-quality articles that give value to the customers. So everything I'm talking about here is just getting your customer set up. Google My Business page. Got to set that up for the customer. Set them up with their YouTube account. Optimize the living daylights out of it. Okay, with pictures, with playlists, phone confirm it. I've got a whole article on how to optimize your YouTube channel for your business brand here. Again, this is an overview. Like I said, you have to learn new skills. You can sit down and learn each of these new skills if you don't know how to do it. Set up a branded, keyword optimized social media and video hosting accounts. Create a keyword optimized and branded blog. I'll give you a place where you can buy your own domain name and get your own hosting account for the blog. Okay, if they're paying you $1,000 a month, it's not a big deal to spend $10 on a domain name. All right, you can invest a little bit. Set them up a real nice blog where you could put your videos and articles. So now that we've got the basics set up, we're going to have, what are we going to do for this customer every month? So I suggest let's do 3 original videos. But what if you're not Martin Scorsese? You don't know how to do videos. You can do something which I don't just call them, they're called slideshow videos. Anyone can do them. There's a service called Animoto. There will be a link on this blog post, and there are many others which will allow you to create slideshow type videos. You just upload pictures, upload text, and it makes videos. I can do them very fast, and I am not good with this stuff, and I can do it very fast. You can also outsource this if you want, but if you're getting started, you might want to do it yourself. It's not hard. So you can make slideshow videos. Now, what type of content do you put on these videos? The customers, a lot of times, will not be able to provide you with articles. Sometimes they can provide you with articles. That's great. But if you're always bugging the customer, they just want a hands-off approach most of the time. They just say, you go, you figure it out. I am running my business. If you need a lot of hand-holding, it's really not too good. So you have to do your own research. One thing you can do to get ideas to create videos and articles is to look at the frequently asked questions of your customer's website and also of your customer's competitors. Okay, my customer is into mold testing. So what did I do? I went to Google. I typed in FAQ mold testing, or frequently asked questions mold testing. Right here, I'm finding out the frequently asked questions in this niche. I don't know anything about this niche. I don't know anything about mold, but now I'm going to become an expert. Look at all these, and it goes on and on and on. On and on and on. I click this one, and then more open up. I click this one, and more open up. There's a lot of questions to be asked about this that you'd never thought of. So you've got tons of ideas of articles, and here's the great thing about doing frequently asked questions. Frequently asked questions are frequently asked questions. People want to know about this stuff. So if your customer is the guy in his niche answering all these questions, he's going to be the authority in my case, Alexandria, Virginia. Say someone wants to know, how much does it cost for asbestos testing in Alexandria, Virginia? I typed all this into Google. Look what comes up. This is a video I did for the customer. The very first thing, the authority video. How much does it cost for asbestos testing? I created a custom image. That is the YouTube thumbnail. Okay, and it answers the question right here. And I go, and what do we have? We have my YouTube video that I created for him with this crazy intro. We got his, what do we got here? We got his website in here. We got his name, address, phone, website, Facebook, Twitter, description, fully filled out, keywords. Hey, do you think my customer likes this? If someone wants to know, hey, these are buying keywords, by the way. How much does it cost for asbestos testing in Alexandria, Virginia? What's the cost? I mean, they're ready to buy, right? I want to know. I want to compare prices. Here he is, man. Okay, this guy makes 500. Look what he makes. This is the low end, okay, because he does huge projects. It's no big deal to pay me to do some SEO work for him. Look at it's working right here. Proof. So your clients' prospects are looking for answers. You can do videos, short little slideshow videos that don't take a lot of time, that are easy to make, inexpensive to make, and you could do videos on every single frequently asked question in your customer's niche. Right there, that's months and months of work. Another thing you can do is you could take all his positive reviews from his website and his customers and make a slideshow video of it. So that way when people Google him, they're going to find out all kinds of great things. You want to rank really well for your customer too, for your customer's business, because people are going to Google their customer's business. So you can also take all the positive reviews and make a slideshow video of it. All right, so now we've got some videos on the frequently asked questions and the reviews of your customer. So when people search for your customer, they're going to find great things about them, and also they're going to have all their questions answered, all localized to their local area, because you put the local area and the keywords in the title. Again, I guess this is just a overview. You can study all this much more in depth, giving you a basic idea on how to get started. All right, you can submit the business to local directories. There are a lot of other local directories besides Google My Business. Google My Business is number one. It's Google for sure, but there's Yelp, there's Yellow Pages. There are hundreds of them. All right. You can submit, say, 20 local directories a month just regularly. And there's people you can outsource this to on Fiverr and freelancer.com. And you can learn how to do it yourself as well. Okay. I suggest when you submit, come up with lots of unique titles and descriptions. I've got a video here on how to come up with a lot of really great titles very quickly. You can also get someone to submit the videos for you. Creation of 3 original blog posts. Like I said, we set up a blog with our own branded domain name around the customer. Also, if the customer has his own blog and you want to build on his blog, if they can let you do that, that's a very good thing, and that really works well for the customer, because most likely his site already is kind of an authority site. If you could build that authority with Google, that's even better. But you know, not all customers will allow you to build on their site. You do on-page SEO. That's great if they let you do it. If not, build your own blog and put the blog post there, and then submit all those blog posts, of course, to all the social media accounts that you created. So those are 3 services, and there are more you can do, but 3 services you can do. You can do create videos for the customer, put the videos on the blogs, submit them to social media sites with different keyword optimized titles, submit local directories, and do blog posts every month. And keep in mind, the content has to be original. It has to be unique content, and it has to be something that offers value to your customers, your clients, prospects. Okay, we're going 100% white hat here. You got to think everything has to provide value for the customers. That way it'll last long term. You don't have to worry about Google updates or anything like that. It's just going to get better and better and better for a customer. This is a building process. You got to sell your customers on this as well. All right, how to get customers. If you're just getting going, first of all, don't be worried about being perfect at all this. Okay, if you spend a year studying SEO, then you don't try to get any customers. It's no good. You got to get started, and you will learn by doing. All the answers are there. You can just type how to anything in exhaustive articles that you do. And so go out and get some customers and just over deliver for them. So you say you're going to do 3, dude, I did 30 the first month for the customer. Okay. But guess what? You get pretty good at it, right? So I told you, for this concept, you got to work your butt off. What did it say? Work your butt off. So, but that's how you do it for real, folks. Imagine you had 10 customers at $1,000 a month. There's guys who have 100 customers at $2,000 a month. I don't like to throw around those numbers because people don't believe them. But why not? They're out there. It depends how organized you can get. So how to get customers? You know what? Call up everyone you know and ask them if they know somebody who has a business is looking for more exposure for their business online. Tell them you're a social media expert. You're SEO. People don't even know what the heck that is. Just say you can get their business more traffic and more exposure in Google and social media. All business owners want that. If they've got a successful local business, again, you're looking for successful businesses that are already making money. All right, that's what you want. Those are your customers. People are already making money and looking to make more. My customers has no problem paying me this. In fact, he said, "Is there more you can do?" A lot of them will say that. Don't be surprised, and you can double up on what you're doing. So ask everyone you know if they know someone who is looking to get more exposure for the business, and just say yes to everyone. Hey, maybe they only want one video. Just do it. You can talk them in 3 videos later if you do a great job for them. It's the same concept as a freelancer. I remember when I was going to start as a freelance musician, and the old timers in the business back when people used musicians, I don't even know if they do anymore. They say you just got to say yes to every single gig, because every single gig you're going to do, you're going to meet someone who's going to refer you, for free. And pretty soon you know everyone. Same thing here. Say yes to everyone. I don't even care if you make that much money at first. Yes, give a great deal, great service, over deliver, and you're going to start getting more customers you know what to do with. Get some business cards made. When people ask you what you do, hand them out. You go cold call businesses. Let them know what you do. Like I said, you're going to have to sell in this. But bottom line, once you get going, you probably have more business you know what to do with. There's so many people out there who need this and don't want to do it. And the opportunity is here because it is a lot of work. It is tedious. SEO is just grunting it out. You can learn it, but a lot of people just don't want to do it, and it's hard to delegate a lot of it. So that means there is an opportunity there for someone who's willing to do the work. All right, another idea on how to get a customer, and there's lots of them. I'm just giving you some basics. Is say you got a guy who you really think he would be a good prospect. Go make a slideshow video for him for free of all the customers' positive reviews. Put it on YouTube. Well, if he doesn't like it, you can take it down. Tell him, hey, I can make videos like this for you every month. People like to hear good things about themselves. You might, if he's making money and you got a good pitch, it's a strong pitch. And like I said, just say yes to everybody. And like I said before too, just at first take any customer and say you stumble on a really good niche, really develop it in that particular area. And say you we're doing well with ticket clinics. You got a ticket clinic in Tulsa, Oklahoma, and you're just rocking it. You've got them listed everywhere, right? You're just owning ticket clinics. I'm just throwing that example out there. In Tulsa, Oklahoma, man, you can't go online without seeing your stuff anywhere. There's no keyword, long tail, short tail, everything. Okay, you could go to someone has a ticket clinic. And I don't even know that's a good niche, folks. Okay, but a ticket clinic in San Francisco or Houston or Dallas, and say, look what I did. I'm the ticket clinic SEO guy. I know about ticket clinics. At that time, you will have known because you've done hundreds of videos on every frequently asked questions on that niche, and you'll be an expert. All right, and how many of those niches are there all over the country? Lots of them have lots of localities. That's the great thing about local marketing. So this is the concept, and I'm actually doing it. Amongst my other things, I'm selling software and setting up software as a service as well. So I'm not totally focused just on this, but probably because it's a lot of work. But I do have customers, and I'm doing it. And I'm saying, wow, you really work this. It could be fantastic. So this is a real opportunity, if you want to go for it. Check it out, and if you have some questions, let me know, and you could research all of these different things that you can do here in depth. Like I said, this is just an overview to give you the basic idea, and there are many variations on this, but the important thing is to get started. You're not going to know everything in advance. You're not going to be perfect in advance. Go get some customers. and start working it and go overboard. You can find the help if you need it. If you don't know how to do something, you could Google it. I guarantee there's 100 articles on how to do it. I'm learning all the time. And you will become an expert. You will be the guy. If you get enough customers and you keep learning and you keep doing it, you're going to be that guy. So the worst thing you can do is try to become an expert before starting to do it. You'll never do it then. You'll never do it because you learn by doing, really. And if you work hard, the customer will be well served. So that is this concept, how to make $10,000 per month working your butt off doing local SEO. I hope it gives maybe somebody a good idea to run with it. And, if you like this, please like, share. You're welcome to embed this video on your blog if you want. Please subscribe to my YouTube channel. Let me know your comments. If you're working in local SEO, give me your ideas too in the comments of what you're doing and how this concept could be improved and what your experiences are. So thank you very much. This is Matthew May with QuickRegisterSEO.com.